What's up, everyone? Welcome back to another review. This time we're taking a look at The Terminator, co-written and directed by James Cameron. The Terminator stars Arnold Schwarzenegger, Linda Hamilton, and Michael Biehn. And this was the movie that launched Arnold Schwarzenegger and James Cameron into superstar status. Now, I had originally reviewed The Terminator in the early years of this channel. I completely hate that review. I didn't think I reviewed this movie to its full potential, so it deserves a redo and a more comprehensive look at what I feel is an outstanding introduction into the Terminator franchise. The first Terminator movie. This is a groundbreaking movie, and what makes this movie stand out is the concept. And what also makes this movie stand out was the fact that James Cameron, he didn't present it as a science fiction movie. He actually presented this movie more or less as a slasher movie. If you're familiar with your history, the slasher genre from pretty much 1978 all the way to the early 90s was a big deal in the horror genre. Like the slasher genre was really picking up steam, and the Terminator, when you actually watch this movie, it's directed and feels pretty much like Halloween. But once the movie really starts to kick into high gear, then it goes into what it is, which is a balls to the wall, nonstop science fiction action movie that is in a grounded, realistic world. And that's one of the things that I love the best about the original Terminator. I love James Cameron's direction of this movie. He gives it a very grounded and realistic look, and that is heightened by beautiful cinematography by Adam Greenberg. Cameron and Greenberg, they created this grounded, realistic, dystopian type of look to this film. I love the look of 1984, which is current day, and everything looks of that. And then you contrast it with the future scenes that we get in like splices in this movie, and and you have that dystopian, gritty, just dirty, all hope is lost type of feel when we get those future scenes in contrast with the 1984 scenes, which is meant to be what the world is, which is meant to be what the world really is, like this thriving place. And then we get contrast with that. And I think Cameron and Greenberg did a fantastic job at making you believe that this hopeful 1984 could potentially turn into this gruesome wasteland 40 years from now. So I love all that. I love the aesthetic. The aesthetic of the film, fantastic. Okay, now that I got the production, now that I got the cinematography out of the way, let's talk about the actors. Linda Hamilton as Sarah Connor. This is how you do a strong feminine character. She is not a woman first. She is a character first. And Linda Hamilton puts a good performance, like a really, really good performance. I like how when we first see Sarah Connor, she's just this happy-go-lucky type of person. She's insignificant like the rest of us. She's not special. But as the movie progresses, we find out that there's more to Sarah Connor, and she wrestles with the fact that there's more to her future. And at first, she has a hard time trying to accept it because, and she has a great line when she's talking to Kyle Reese, like, "How can I be the mother of the future when I can't even balance my checkbook?" And that just heightens the fact of Sarah Connor being a flawed, just average person who unknowingly has the burden of being the mother of John Connor, the savior of humanity. And I think Linda Hamilton put on a really good performance, and I really like the chemistry with her and Michael Biehn, who played Kyle Reese. Kyle Reese is the overall hero is the male hero of the story, and I've always liked Michael Biehn. I've always found him to be a very underrated and underappreciated actor, and I enjoyed his performance of Kyle Reese. It's a very grounded performance. Like, Kyle Reese is a man from the future who is sent back in time to protect Sarah Connor from being destroyed by this unstoppable killing machine. And at first, I like how the movie plays it up as Kyle maybe not being a hero, maybe is being a hero, and it actually builds up really good suspense, and it has a spectacular payoff when Reese and the Terminator finally have a gunfight at a nightclub, and then that's where the movie really starts to pick up a lot of steam, and that's around the half hour to 40-minute mark. So you can say like the first 30 minutes to 40 minutes of the movie, it does tend to drag on a little bit. You do have some good scenes here and there of Arnold Schwarzenegger as a Terminator just killing people, but other than that, the movie does take a little bit does take a while to pick up steam. But once that nightclub fight scene happens, the movie is just a non-stop ride from there. And that's where Michael Bihn's performance really starts to shine, especially when he's delivering the expositional dialogue to Sarah Connor, explaining what's going on, explaining the situation. And I like how it's not being done with these two just sitting around having a casual conversation. Like Reese is explaining what's happening as they're being chased by the Terminator. So you have these thrilling, beautifully directed action sequences going on while Kyle Reese is depositing the exposition, trying to update Sarah as to what's going on. And I thought, like I said, I thought Michael Biehn did a really good job at making everything sound believable. And I enjoyed the chemistry with him and Linda Hamilton. And I loved the look, and I really enjoyed the love story that develops between these two. And it's pretty evident that Kyle Reese is the father of John Connor. We get the movie does hint at it a little bit, especially when Sarah asks Kyle, who's the guy, who's the father. Kyle's like, I don't know who he is. All I know is that he died before the war. So, and when Kyle asked John himself about John's father, John was like, oh, I didn't really know who he was, or just didn't really, or just seemed very distant. And I love it. It's good stuff. I enjoyed it a lot. I really like Michael Biehn in this movie, and I like Linda Hamilton in this movie. They play so well off one another, and their dialogue exchanges are really, really good. Uh, and now, how do I feel about Arnold Schwarzenegger as a Terminator? He's fantastic. He's great. Let's move on. I can't complain about Arnie as a Terminator. His performance is so ingrained in pop culture. It's just a waste of time talking about it because he's fantastic. Arnold as the evil Terminator is everything you want in a villain. Unstoppable, does not stop, will not stop, has no remorse, has no compassion until you are dead. And Arnie plays the role fantastically, and I will always stand by the fact that only very certain directors know how to play to Arnold's strengths. James Cameron is one of those directors who can play to Arnold Schwarzenegger's strengths. That shows in T1 and in T2. So, enough of that. This movie is bolstered by a beautiful supporting cast that includes Lance Henriksen and Paul Winfield, who play these two detectives that protect Sarah. I love both these characters. I think they're great, and if I have any gripe, I would not have killed them off so soon as the movie did. And I also like the running gag of Lance Henriksen trying to tell a story, and he keeps constantly getting cut off by the Paul Winfield character. I thought that was great, and the way Winfield and Henriksen play these two characters, like you get the sense that they've been partners for a long time, and they've been like friends for a long time. I kind of like I really like the dynamic between these two, and I would have loved to see more scenes with them because I was enjoying what I was watching. So yeah, those are my thoughts on that. The action sequences in this movie, as I said, they're really beautiful. They're extremely violent. They're well done, and they're so exhilarating. Like the opening where we see the Terminator kill these punks, gory and graphic. The scene where he shoots Dick Miller, who is selling guns to him, is outstanding. The scene where he shoots Sarah Connor, the iconic Sarah Connor, and the woman's like, yes, bam, good stuff. The chase scene, great stuff. The police station massacre, legendary and outstanding. The last act where the Terminator is in his full robot form, exoskeleton, and he's chasing Sarah Connor and Kyle Reese to the factory. Very, very thrilling, very reminiscent of any classic slasher movie like a Friday the 13th or a Halloween, and the music by Brad Fiedel just heightens it. I mean, if I do have any criticisms, aside from Lance Henriksen and Paul Winfield, to me being a little bit underutilized, not a big fan about how Kyle Reese dies. I think his death is really underwhelming. He just puts a grenade in the Terminator and he falls down a flight of stairs and he's dead. I mean, I would have I thought it would have been cool if the Terminator would have did like the machine would have killed Kyle Reese some other way, and then Kyle Reese as like a last fuck you puts the dynamite in him. Instead, his death to me feels so underwhelming. I didn't like that whatsoever. And that's actually pretty much it for my complaints. I only if I have any complaints, those are just my two major complaints, and that's pretty much it. I overall think that the first Terminator is a perfect movie. I love the ending. Like, it feels complete, but it also leaves it open for more story to tell, with Sarah driving off into the desert. So I like all that stuff. So, yeah, those are my overall thoughts on the original Terminator movie. At the end of the day, this movie to me gets a 9 out of 10. This is a classic landmark science fiction action movie. Without this movie, we probably would never have gotten half the movies we've gotten in the science fiction genre about the Terminator because it set the standard. So yeah, 9 out of 10 for the original Terminator movie. Let me know your thoughts in the comment sections down below. Like the video and subscribe, and I will check you back next time for more.